guys, welcome to the Mass Debaters. Tonight we're going to talk about where we see the future of video gaming in around 10 years.
Before we start, after Woodland 37's video response, we realised that his little daughter Isabella watches the show, doesn't she?
Yeah, after his video.
Hi Isabella.
Hi Isabella, hey Cole.
So, as tribute to her and also Adrian's friend's little son,
Elijah,
who also wishes.
you see here.
I think he must be officially the youngest viewer.
Yeah, he's 8 months old.
So if you can beat that,
Hey,
send us a picture.
Janet's his favourite.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior, yeah, he likes Ultimate Warrior.
So as a tribute to Elijah and Isabella, for this whole episode, we're not gonna say a swear.
Try not to,
I'm not
anyway.
going to do a swear.
Not gonna do a swear.
And Isabella, stop spilling your shandy.
Oh, it's gone all over!
It's expensive stuff.
I bet your room stinks.
We're only joking. All over the floor. Just tip it up all over the carpet.
Yeah, throw it on your dad.
And pull his glasses off.
Like a bar yeah, so if you don't know who Woodland 37 is, link in the description, check him out, he's
Very
really
funny.
And him and his daughter Isabella make a great duo, don't they?
Yeah.
So, where were we?
Where do we see gaming in 10 years?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Who wants to kick us off?
Well, I'll just start because I.
Well, yours is a negative, why do I start off on negative?
Well, I don't have negative. I've got a bit of both.
Mr.
I've got a bit of both.
Mr.
I've got a bit of
Negative.
both.
Go for it.
I just think I think I'm going to struggle to adapt with where gaming is going, and that's what I think. I think in 10 years' time, obviously what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and get us to be online only. I think probably go digital as well. An example why I'll struggle with that is The Walking Dead, the DLC game that came out from Telltale, the point and click type game. You've just started playing it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Rogers went through it.
If you haven't played it yet,
Yeah.
you need to get it.
I've been dying to play the game, dying to play it because I've heard everybody say how good it is.
They got
But-
Game of the Year, didn't it?
Yeah, Game of the Year last year, but I've not downloaded it because I know it's coming out on physical form over here. It's just come out now, and I'm getting it. But I just haven't been able to download it because I just want to be able to have the physical media.
It's like-
I want to have it all. And
It's like buying nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not.
it's not buying nothing,
You
but
buy a game,
Yeah.
you've got something in your hand.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
you download a game, you haven't. You're still
Yeah.
playing the game, but
and I know that I'm missing out on so many things, but it's just the way I am. And I've downloaded Sonic 4 because there's no physical media, and I wanted that.
So where do you see gaming in 10 years? Do you think it's all going to be digital?
I think it's going to be digital. I think that there'll probably be less competition. I think in the market, but I think mobile gaming will get bigger and bigger as well. And I think that it will probably just have a hub, if you know what I mean. You'll have one main hub.
Yeah, you have the whole.
like a big iPad.
A very big iPad, yeah, but with everything, and all the developers and everything will all develop for that, and you get your games off it. I might be wrong, it might be, but that's just something I can see
You're
happening.
talking about like it's streaming the games from the cloud.
No, I think you download it onto your hard drives.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I agree with you to a certain extent. I don't want it to be downloaded.
Yeah. All I'll say is, my opinion, in 10 years' time, if there is a console that's out there that I can still get physical media and have that kind of thing, that's the console I'll get. But in 10 years' time, I could be completely different. I could completely go against what I'm saying.
On that though, like your point with all downloadable stuff, if it was like that, then it would be like that, and wouldn't that make everything that you collect now and everything that we had in the past even specialer? Do you know what I mean?
Even more- yeah.
Everything that we've got to
Definitely.
look after.
Yeah, I'm not completely against it. I just think that the way that the manufacturers are doing things right now, like what we said with that Metro game that's just come out, they're charging you money to play it on hard.
Yeah.
And if that's the way that the industry's going, then
Well, they're always going to push the boundaries, aren't they? They're going to push it.
yeah, but it wasn't like that, was it?
No,
It's only just started getting like that now, and the reason why it's starting getting like that now is because you're online all only, and you've got
Because they can.
because they can, and people need to not.
Well, that's
do
what
it.
I mean.
People
They'll
need to not do
push
it.
it until people start saying no and stop
Yeah.
buying the game. Right, well, I'm going to take it from there because although I do agree with some of the points there, I'm going to look at the fun side of it and the technology that I'm excited about using. And I'm going to base it off technology which is available today. So in 10 years, I imagine that it will have become popular and be even more advanced, if you know what I mean. And the two things that I'm thinking of the most is the Oculus Rift, which is like a headset you wear which fully immerses you within the game, and also Leap Motion Controller, and it's really that is for your Windows 8.
Yeah.
And you've got it's more like an iPad in it, the way it's set up.
Are you going on Minority Report?
Well, yeah, that's what it is. It's a little box which sits underneath the monitor, and you just move it in thin air.
You mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
So, because one of the reason why I think that's important too is because I was reading up on the Oculus Rift today, obviously in preparation for this conversation, and it looks like, by all accounts, it's really good. I remember virtual reality being a big thing in the 90s. Everyone thought it was going to be
The big red thing that you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
on your head.
Yeah, everyone thought it would be brilliant. But they could never get it right.
Yeah.
Could they?
We're getting to the point now where, like, in 10 years' time, you should think that might
What's
be
that
affordable.
film? Lawnmower.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. That's all I know.
Yeah, yeah. So I think a combination of maybe those two sort of technologies, because one of the things I was watching about today is when you put it on, you can only look. If you like move, it doesn't move. It's just the way you look.
Yeah.
And people that were putting it on were like trying to look at the hand when they were wearing it, but obviously that's not part of it. But if you've got that in combination with something like that Leap Motion Controller, in 10 years it might be even one step further where you're actually in the world. If you've got photorealistic graphics and you're fully immersed in the game, and I think that's where gaming will go.
Oh, the technology is
fully immersed into the game.
That's where it's exciting to be able to do stuff
Well,
like that.
imagine how playing with your friends and you're all superheroes and you're flying around and it looks like you're flying and you're actually controlling the 3D character in the world. It's like you flying around now.
Yeah.
It's like you being alive, but then having superhero powers.
Would you just live in that world?
Well, that's the thing I'm thinking. There'll be people.
Yeah, there will, but just
With
people.
diapers.
They won't want to leave that world.
Ready Player One.
No, we're actually going to mention Ready Player One.
Mention it now.
But yeah, in that book, they sort of have that sort of technology. They have suits on, don't they? They wear gloves, haptic gloves and stuff like that, don't they?
It's that film with Bruce Willis.
Surrogate.
It's called Surrogate.
Yeah.
And they're.
But that's in the real world. They control machines in the real world.
Are you not going to be controlling a machine in the real world?
No, I'm talking about being inside the 3D world. Really, I'm starting to check myself.
What's that game? What's that game
I'm sorry,
on?
Isabel.
What's that game on Red Dwarf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
They insert it into your frontal lobes, and he's there grinding away.
I'm half human. What the hell's happened to my teeth? I can open beer bottles with my overbite.
And I was thinking of another thing as well, because I like the controls. I don't like moving my hands around and stuff like that.
No.
But I'm sure, even in the future, you could even, do you know when you're asleep, your brain turns off your motor functions, doesn't it? Because when you're dreaming, you can't move around. If it doesn't, you sleepwalk, don't you? So you could even have technology where it flicks that switch in your brain, so you don't have to move, and you just think you're moving in the 3D world.
So basically, you don't want to move at all, do you? To be honest, what I was going to talk about is what you pretty much talked about, and there was a big buzz about virtual reality, weren't there, in the 90s, with that film coming out, and there was just a big to-do about it, and it was shit, weren't it? Big graphics.
Yeah.
Sorry, Isabella. Yeah, really. Is swearing?
Is she like to say woman?
It's too late now. But yeah, virtual reality will it come back and will it be like Johnny said? And what was that thing that we watched? You know, when they were playing, I think they were playing Battlefield and they were on a treadmill.
Yeah.
They were running and
Gadget show.
The gadget show. Yeah.
Gadget show, yeah. But imagine that in your home.
Oh yeah. I keep thinking to myself, is that going to ever be affordable?
Well,
that setup that they've got.
It will be.
You know.
There might be
They have to make it affordable, wouldn't they?
But in 10 years, that technology is going to, because computer power is double every year, pretty much. Every 18 months, they double in speed. So in 10 years, the stuff that you've got computers now are going to be pennies.
But still, if you will you be able to run it? Will you have the room and be able to run around?
Yeah, you've got to have the setup for it.
Yeah.
Or would it have to be you thinking that kind of thing? Like you said, something that attacks your brain to make it.
Maybe we're going even further than 10 years, but with the Oculus Rift, it's full peripheral vision. So you put it on, and whenever you move your head, it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
You see everything.
I'm going to say what I would want in 10 years, and what I would want is a world like that, some sort of virtual reality where you can play an MMO, like a fantasy MMO or something like that, like a World of Warcraft for Star Wars Galaxies in a virtual world. Get me happy.
That's fun enough. That's very much what Ready Player One's about.
Yeah.
The whole book. It's not about Star Wars Galaxies, but it's about a virtual world which you go into.
Yeah, and if you haven't ever heard it and you like to read and you haven't read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, pick it up because it's
Awesome
fantastic
book,
read.
awesome.
It's got a really good pop culture from the 80s and 90s, and yeah, fantastic, futuristic book.
You in it?
Well, I had a lot of time to prepare for this.
You had as much time as you usually do.
No. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I'm just kind of laid back. I'm ready for it to just take me along with it. I don't really hate the fact that it's probably going to go digital, but I would like a physical copy of things. I'm of the opinion that if they're going to do it, they'll do it regardless. No matter how many people stop buying stuff, I think they'll just do it.
Digital,
and they'll just make the change happen.
But they won't put microtransactions if no one's buying them.
Yeah, it's all about that. That's what's really annoying.
The microtransactions are...
In a fully priced game, it's wrong.
No, well yeah, but if it's an add-on,
I really don't
something
think
like
that
that
would disappear though.
So anyway, sorry, I know what you said.
no, I'm pretty much...
You didn't say anything.
I know, but that's what...
What would you like?
I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I would like, how you said, like a full world that you can walk around, you can do whatever you want, drive a car, you can go swimming, fly in the sky, play football, even though you can do it in the real world. It'd be good to see how they want you to do it.
Oh, we're gamers, aren't we? So it'd be good to be seen how it can do. The one thing I don't want to lose as well is, like, campaigns as well, like single player. Should always have, because obviously a lot of things being based on multiplayer. So there's going to be massive multiplayers in 10 years' time.
But with these multiplayers, Dan, you have quests and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like MMOs. You mean? Yeah.
But I mean, you have a quest where it could be a story-based quest. So
yeah. Well, I'm quite happy to try that out. Definitely. Have we achieved anything here right now?
No. It's not about achieving stuff.
No.
It's
But
about
I mean, have we
getting...
do we know what's happening in 10 years yet?
No one knows. Nobody knows. That's why it's so exciting.
I've got a point, I've just thought of now, that I say quite a lot. And when people say that they're scared of getting old and they don't want to be in a home and stuff like that, and they don't want to not be able to go out, I can't fucking wait. I can't wait till I'm in a home and I can't. I just have to stay in my room because hopefully I'll just be able to play all the time. It sounds really sad, but
but that's retirement, and like when you're like,
I wouldn't want to do that now.
Well, people always say, well, you won't be playing games when you're older. Well, there's people that retire and still build the train sets and set up distributios and stuff like that.
I'm never not going to be a gamer.
You're right, when you're retired and that.
That's the good time.
Game away.
Especially if you're in a virtual world where you're like basically a Superman, because you'll be like able to lift cards and stuff in your virtual world, and you'll be like 80.
Yeah.
But we've gone a little bit further.
Another thing I thought of as well. Imagine if in this virtual world they could figure out a way because time is relative, isn't it? Time passing time is relative. If you're having a great time, usually time speeds up. If you're having a really bad time, it feels like it's taking ages. So even though it always passes the same, obviously, but it's relative. So if they can make it so that the time feels like it's passing slower in the game than it actually is in real life, you can play for an hour and maybe it feel like a year in the game. So you can, or even more.
That'd mean your brain's going rapid, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know what it means to the human body, but I just think that'd be awesome.
Well, they say you only use 10% of your brain, don't you? So maybe they'll unlock our brain.
Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time we unlock that brain.
Right, you've heard us rant on about this for a while, like idiots. It's time for our special guest. This guy's, since I've been watching YouTube, he's probably my favourite channel.
He's a channel.
He is my favourite channel.
Channel.
He always asks really thought-provoking questions, and I always seem to agree with him with what he's saying.
Yeah.
So,
He knows what he's
without
talking about.
further ado, what does go on to say?
Without any further ado-ing.
Without any further ado, our special guest is...
First of all, guys, I want to say an absolute massive thank you. It's an honour and a pleasure to be involved, you know, on an episode of the 16-Bit Brothers Mass Debaters. Now, you asked a very interesting question because I think it's on, you know, the minds of quite a lot of people now, specifically people of, you know, our age. I have no idea how old you are, but you know what I mean. That who grew up with solid state media, grew up with cartridges, grew up with CDs, grew up with DVDs, you know, grew up with a way that gaming has always been. Where will gaming be in 10 years? I gotta say, I know people say you can't fight change and don't fear the future. Well, I say bollocks. Fight change and fear the future, because I think gaming 10 years from now will be so alien and far removed from what it is right now that it's basically going to be fucking Skynet. You know, it's going to be a little box, a media device. It's not going to be a console. It's going to be a media device in your lounge that is permanently connected to the internet. You buy everything through the internet. You're denied the simple pleasure of going to a store and picking up a game, because it is one of the great pleasures of, you know, owning a system. You're denied the pleasure of taking a game around a mate's house. So immediately it's pissed on the chips of anyone who loves social gaming. All right, you can play online. Will always be a big part of gaming, but it's not the same, is it? It's not the same as, you know, back in the day, going around your mate's house after school, popping in a cartridge, you know, and getting some co-op on, you know. It's, I don't know, it depresses me. It's like EA and Microsoft finally got what they wanted. They finally managed to claw gaming away from us, because it was ours. It belonged to us. They finally got to claw it away, and it will become what they've always envisioned it to be, which is theirs, 100% controlled and dictated by them. This little box, the worst thing is you download games to it. What do you do when the system dies? What do you do when the system dies? You know, when the life cycle of the system runs out, what are we left with? A very expensive paperweight. Do you know what I mean? That worries me. Maybe you can keep the games on your hard drive, but certainly any sense or value of the system be, you know, retro years after that is, you know, it's pissed into the wind. It's gone away. Where do I think gaming will be in 10 years? I think it will be a very sterile environment. I think I don't want to have to buy my games purely through digital download. I don't want my console, you know, replay value to be determined by its own life cycle. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I honestly think all companies across the board, possibly with the exception of Nintendo, because, you know, they could be the wild card on this one. They've always thought outside the bun a little bit, and if they have a brain, they will continue this course, and I think it would benefit them. You know, people could definitely get on board with a console that kind of stays old school, but certainly for the next Xbox, or after this one, you know what I mean, 10 years time, as you said, and the next PlayStation, it's going to be digital only. It's going to be fucking Skynet. Where will gaming be in 10 years? I fear it. I really do. One more thing I would like to tell you guys. You do know if you masturbate too much, you will go blind.
Right then.
Wow.
There we have it.
Where's my glasses?
Thanks very much for that, Dave. Awesome.
Brilliant.
Response. No, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, brilliant.
I thought he was the perfect man for that. So
It's
thank you
been
very
brilliant
much.
having you on.
If you haven't watched Dave or been to his channel, there should be a link down here.
Yeah,
He's a really great guy. Makes some really good videos.
fantastic, yeah.
Pillar of the community.
And I think that you'll have probably heard of him,
Yeah,
but
if you watch our videos, you'll know who he is. Right, as usual, this is a mass debate, so video responses are welcome. Got a good few last time.
Yeah, we really enjoyed the master bit. No, it was good there.
You love to masturbate?
Thank you everyone for sending them in. We all watch them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're really
we do,
good We say it every time, but we mean it every time.
Yeah, every time we get one, we're all like, we've had another response and we all watch it.
Go check it.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
It does. So are you going to go and get ready, Nana?
Yeah. Alright. Got to, Anna.
So thanks everyone for watching,
Thanks to Dave.
and thank you Wales Boys Sports 1975.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Stop moving, baby, on that booty, drive me crazy. Hey, hey. Don't stop moving, baby, on that booty, drive me crazy. Hey, hey. Don't stop moving, baby, on that booty, drive me crazy.